Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Pathfinder 2, Pathfinder 2nd Edition Core Rulebook. And everything that I think is good about the Pathfinder 2 Core Rulebook. All right, let's get into it. All right, so it is complete. There was a playtest version, which really looked a lot like a real book, but this is the actual released production line Pathfinder 2nd Edition Core Rulebook. Okay, 640 pages, amazing. All right, so what do I think is good about this book? Well, first and foremost, I think it's good that it is readily available in Barnes and Nobles, and it is. All right, so that's not a small thing. Paizo is a large corporation, and they are very active in producing a significant amount of books at a fairly good frequency, and they're very good at getting printed books onto Barnes & Noble's bookshelves. This is a big deal because Barnes & Noble is our last remaining national book chain, right? And so Paizo has the scale, it has the experience, it has the ability to sell in significant enough numbers where they can get this book readily available on Barnes & Noble's bookshelves. That's a good thing because it's good for our hobby that somebody can walk into that Barnes & Noble and experience a print book right there on the shelf. That's really, really healthy for our hobby. And I think it's really healthy for Barnes & Noble's to have something right there saying Dungeons & Dragons is not the only core rulebook, right? Because just to be clear, so when I went to get my copy in Barnes & Noble's, there was only Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder 2, and there was the Starfinder book. That's it. Those are the only tabletop role-playing games that were on the shelf. Now, to be clear, there were like 5 or 6 copies of Pathfinder 2, and in addition to that, there was literally every Dungeons & Dragons book, right? Like every 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons book was on the shelf, right? And a whole bunch of Dungeons & Dragons ephemera. So it's really important that Pathfinder has been able to do that, all right? What else? The art. I thought the art was fantastic. It was really, really high quality. It was very careful. It was also clear that it was that there was significant like thought and art design that went into the book. They thought very carefully about what would be in the book, and there is a consistent design throughout the book. All the art looks similar. It all looks like it belongs in the book. All of that is fantastic. Also, the art leads on this book were both female. I think that's really good. We're trying to move to a more inclusive hobby as far as having creators who are of both genders, and I think it was really good that Pathfinder was able to do that in the art section, right? So that's good. I think that's a good thing. What else was good? Oh yeah, icons. The icons that were used throughout the book were fantastic. They did this thing with action, double action, triple action. Essentially, they did a really good job of being able to cue you to what they were talking about in a visual way, right? In addition to that, they had like a little, almost like a clock on the side of the sidebar that showed you where you were within the book, and so it would make it very easy to kind of scroll in and out of the book and find the chapter that you wanted. Very nice. Also, layout. Layout is fantastic in this book. Actually, the layout is incredibly strong. So if you take the pure 100% color aspects of the book, the entire book is all in beautiful, pure color, right? Which was really fantastic. And you take with how the text is laid out, everything's super easy to read. The use of color in the book is excellent. The color matching, right? Like the art actually blends with the color of the pages, as far as like the density of the colors that are being used. There's a lot of thought that went into the layout of this book, and the art of this book, and I really think it does serve as an example for other tabletop. It serves as a pacemaker for other. That sounds bad. It sets the pace for art and layout for other tabletop role-playing games. It looks incredibly professional. It looks innovative. It looks super clean. There's a lot of clarity. It's very easy to read what's in the book. All that is fantastic, right? I love that they continue to use the iconics, right? So Harsk and Miley and all the old iconics from the original Pathfinder are there, and a few new iconics, which is great. You know, the wizard, I think his name is Ezrin, right? The cleric, all the classic Pathfinder iconics are in the book. They're right there. They're shown. Pathfinder used iconics really well. It was an idea that had been in 3rd edition. 3rd edition Dungeons & Dragons used iconics. They moved away from it in 4th edition, and they completely abandoned it in 5th edition. And honestly, I will say I think 5th edition is absolutely weaker for the abandonment of iconics. I think the idea of iconics introduced in 3rd edition was fantastic. It really gave a cohesive feel. There was even an ability to do a little storytelling just in the art itself. I really loved the iconics, and I really like that Pathfinder put the iconics in there, made it accessible, and really used it. So all that is good. What else is I would say so the art, the layout, the fact that it's easily accessible at Barnes and Noble, the icons that I talked about. They had these icons for the classes that I thought were really popped, really looked nice, very succinct. I really liked it. So that is everything I liked in Pathfinder 2. All the good stuff in Pathfinder 2. I'd love to hear your opinion. What did you like in Pathfinder 2? Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.